Welcome to Board Gaming with Austin. Today I've got the game Gold Crush in front of you. It's a 2 to 4 player game and it plays in about 30 to 45 minutes. This is the rule book. It's actually very small. There's not that much in it. This is the board in front of you. These are the little pieces made out of pine. You can see on the bottom. They've got this really nice like enamel coated paint job. Over here you have the little circles. Those are resources. They're like really sturdy paper. You have a stack of cards over here. You can kind of see them. Those are different like defender tokens. Sorry, cards. They're made of cardboard, so they're not cards. These are power cards. There are power cards, which is roll twice, tornado, whip, steal, jump. There's different of these cards as well. So the game, this is going to be a complete review, which with ratings, and then I'm going to kind of explain how to play it. So the quality, I give a 4-star. The reason I give a 4-star, I give a 4.5 star. It has a wooden die, and I'm not really a fan of wooden dies. It's really nice wood though, but they're like cardboard. They should be paper. I'm not a big fan of that. At least the cards themselves, I think, are standard size, so you're good there. 4.5 stars, maybe even 4.75. A die by itself, I'm not that big of a dice guy, so 4.75. I'm gonna give the gameplay quality I'll get to that. The directions themselves are great. They're 5-star. Nothing wrong there. They don't say all the things that the cards do, but the cards, every single card says it itself, so you don't need that. The gameplay, the way it works. So, it works very similar to Ludo. I give the gameplay, not a big fan. Alright, I'm a fan of the play style, but not, you don't get to utilize all your pieces. So I'm going to give 3.5 for the gameplay. The reason is, let me explain real quick how you play it, and you'll see what I mean. Ludo, I'm pretty sure, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, is a game where you have to get all of your pieces back into the home slots. With this game, you have to get one piece to the center, to the treasure in the center. And it has very similar Ludo mechanics where you have to go around the board. Then when you get around the board, you jump one ring in, go around the board, jump one ring in, go around the board, and then jump into the center. It doesn't matter what you do with two pieces as long as you get one of your pieces in the center. So yeah, you kind of need at least to have one of them trailing. If normally you would need to have one trailing the other one, so that if this one gets knocked out, you have this one to kind of fall back on and it's not in the home start, the start position. But that's normally how it's supposed to be played. With this, it doesn't work out like that because there's these tiles here. Well, let me explain the spots on the board. There's this little trap-looking space here. That makes you get rid of all these power cards, the actual cards in the game. The different cards in the game the power cards allow you to jump forward up to 3 spaces for the jump card. The steal card allows you to steal the resources, so there's gold and rubies of the other player. The roll twice allows you to roll twice on your turn. So normally on your turn you only either roll or use a card. Well, the roll twice lets you just roll twice. Tornado allows you to make anyone else go back 6 spaces. The whip allows you to make anyone else go back 3 spaces. So there's some spots on the board that let you just automatically get those power cards. But normally you would buy it during your turn with gold and rubies. And that's actually all listed right here. So, just like those, there's these other 3, the ones that aren't necessarily cards that I told you about. Well, this trap on the board makes you get rid of all their power cards. The bomb on the board makes you go back to the start position. And then if you land on a piece that someone else has on the board, you make them go back to the start position. That's called attacking in this game. These three cards right here, you can buy them with your resources. They allow you to, the life allows you to ignore being sent back home from someone attacking you. The breaker here allows you to ignore a trap, I believe, if you step on it. And the defender allows you to ignore a bomb if you step on it. Pretty much what ends up happening is you get one person far enough forward, and then you just buy all three of these, and that person's pretty much invincible in a two-player game, at least. In a two-player game, because someone uses a tornado, like let's say I'm right here, someone uses the whip, it makes me go back 3 spaces, I will lose all my power cards. Unless I have the breaker. You just discard the breaker. You keep all your power cards. Now, that other person, unless they have 2 whips, they or more tornadoes, they can't make me do that again. So that gives me time to buy another breaker. Or, in this situation, if I was here and I went back 6 spaces because they're tornado, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I land on a bomb. Well, then I just use this defender and ignore the bomb. Then again, in the 2-player game, while they're trying to get more bomb or more whips or tornadoes, I just buy my defender back. In a 3 or 4-player game, it would make sense. Everyone has whips and tornadoes and keeps picking on the person who's in front. Then yeah, it makes more sense to have more 5-player. I hate games where you don't need to use all your pieces. It just makes it useless to even have those pieces. So I give the gameplay a 3.5. So that was the review. The total score on the review is, I'd give this game a 3.75, but that pushes it back up to 4 because the quality of the components and the directions are really good. The artwork is beautiful. The components are great. Again, so 4-star probably. But that's the end of the reviews, the complete review. Now I'm going to explain exactly how to play it, and it's pretty simple. I kind of already explained it. Everyone in a 2-player game, you choose a color, preferably across from each other or on opposite sides of the boards. You put 3 of your color on one side, or in your home start space. They put theirs in their start space. Then on your turn, you either do one. There's 2 things you can do. You can either, on your first step, roll the dice and go that number of spaces, or you use a power card. And all of the power cards use up your first action. So it's either you roll the dice and you move those spaces, or you use a power card. After you do that step, your second step is utilizing your resources. So if you'll have rubies or gold, to buy anything in the store. Those things in the store could be any of these, I forgot what they call them, or any of the power cards. You can buy as many items as your resources allow you to in one turn. In your second action, in one turn. And then your third action, I don't know why it says this, but it does technically say it in this order. On your turn, on your third step, whenever your player steps on a special tile, you need to follow the instructions. So it sounds like you can roll your dice or use an action card. Then you can buy stuff. Then you would do what the tile that you land on says. So let's do this. I roll my dice. I go forward 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. You land on the gold, you get 2 gold. Basically, whatever you land on the board, you get or do exactly what it says. If you don't know what it does or says, then you look in the directions. This says 2 gold, so you get 2 gold. Alright, that's my first action. My second action is buying stuff using resources. You use this chart to tell you exactly how much things cost. So with 2 gold, I don't have enough resources to do anything, to buy anything. So I move on to the third step, which is do what this says. Get 2 gold, so I just got my 2 gold. Alright, now they roll 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. They landed on the raccoon stealing card, so you get the steal card. They don't have any resources to buy anything. They didn't. Now it's my turn. I go forward 2. I can decide to go forward 2 with this guy in the start position, or go forward 2 here. I go forward 2 here and get 1 ruby. Now I can start buying stuff. So I can buy the steal card, I can buy the whip card, or I can buy a defender. Right off the bat, you want to start buying those defenders, life, and breaker cards. So I'm going to buy 1 defender with my 1 ruby and 2 gold. Alrighty, so now, oh, whoops, see, technically, I have to wait. I moved, I use my resources that I already have, which is 2 gold. Then I do what my spot says, so I get 1 ruby. So you can't buy after you get your resources from your tile. Now it's their turn. They roll 2, 1, 2. They get 1, get to buy stuff if they choose to. They can't choose to buy anything, so they get their ruby for landing on that spot. Now I roll. I go 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's my buying phase. I'm gonna buy the breaker, or the defender with 2 gold and 1 ruby. Now it's their turn. They roll, go 3. They can't do anything else because they don't have enough gold or rubies. So now I go on my turn. For my movement action, or for my card action, I'll use this card, which says I can roll twice. You put that back on the pile, and I roll twice. So I go forward 1. This is a technically, that's my first roll. Now I have to do my second roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I move on to the buying phase. I don't have anything to buy, so now I do what I landed on. You don't do what you land on in between your double roll, because that's the way the card works. Alright? Now they go. They roll forward 3. 1, 2, 3. They can't buy anything, so now they do what their tile says. They get 2 gold. Now for my turn, instead of rolling, I'm going to use this card, Tornado, which makes them go back 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They landed on the ruby space. That wasn't during their turn. Yeah, the game doesn't specify how you do that. So when we played, if they made you go back onto a trap or a bomb, it immediately activated. But if it goes back onto a benefit, I say, yeah, they also get that benefit. That's something that the directions don't explain. Alright, so now that was my turn. I have nothing I can buy. Now it's their turn to roll. They go forward 1 space. They do want to buy something. They're going to use 2 rubies and 1 gold to buy a life. And then now they get their 1 gold for the space they're on. And you pretty much do that back and forth over and over again until you have 1 piece in the center with the treasure. You do not have to have multiple pieces there. Just 1 piece has to be here. You keep using your cards and your tiles the way they say on the cards. And then, again, I do recommend playing this with more than 2 players. It's more fun. Thank you.